So we are the Breast Connection. We are welcoming you here because we believe as a community, we heal and thrive together. We believe that we are more connected with each other and that breast health is a way in, the doorway into self-care. Sometimes people come to breast health because of cancer. Sometimes they come to it because of mastitis and breastfeeding. Sometimes they come to it, but not very commonly because they just want to practice preventative care. And this is what we want to develop in North America is that people just take preventative breast care. They love up their breasts, not because something has happened, like a mortal illness or some other kind of complication, but because they recognize this is a valid part of the body. And it's a doorway into the breast and the heart. So the Breast Connection is founded by myself and Dina and Lisa, and Dina will be in momentarily, but she's still figuring out the Zoom links things, I think. So quick overview about who are the founders of the Breast Connection. First of all, my name is Erin. I'm a registered massage therapist in BC, Canada. My practice revolves all around breast health, therapeutic breast massage, and also teaching other massage therapists how to work with this breast surgery demographic. So Anne is our other co-founder, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. Welcome and Happy New Year. We're so glad to have you here. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Ann Crook. My business is Integrative Radiance, and I support women in midlife that are struggling with chronic health issues to transform their health and reclaim their life. And it's a joy to co-facilitate the Breast Connection with Dina, Lisa, and Erin. We started this initiative a year ago, and we're thrilled to have Annabelle here with us tonight to talk about the heart-breast connection and celebrating the feminine.
Yeah, so wonderful. It's going to be really interesting. Annabelle's got a pretty interesting history and some great offerings to the world. So before she jumps in and talks, I'll just give a little bit of an introduction to her. Annabelle is a best-selling author, homeopath, and life expansion expert. Her mission is to raise awareness about self-care and breast care. She believes that by transforming the anxiety of the future into an unshakable inner knowing, women can be guided by their inner voice to make grounded, wise, and powerful choices so the world becomes a place of connection, unity, and celebration, which is amazing. She is a contributing author to the best-selling book, Warriors of Light, Leaders of the Great Awakening, that was released in August of last year, 2022. And tonight she comes to talk about the heart-breast connection, celebrating the feminine. So some of the things you're going to learn about are the heart-breast connection, how you can use it to help you feel connected to your body, mind, and soul, how you can attract abundance into your life by bringing more love into your energetic field, the ways that you can tap into the superpowers of your feminine energies, and also your next best steps to self-care and breast care. So, Annabelle, with that, I will let you take the stage and let us hear your thoughts. Oh, and unmute yourself first.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm so honored to be here, and I honor you ladies to bring this group together and as a team to bring this medicine in the world, this caring, and to say there is something after, there's so much light after. So well done to you to work together to keep it going, to make it happening. And yes, I'm so happy to be here and to present my story. And everything always starts with a story, because at the end of the day we offer things, but we are human, and as human we go through a human story. And so my story was, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2011, and that was such a big shock, and I was in denial for quite a bit. So as a health practitioner, it came out as a huge shock of identity as well. I'm like, oh, I'm a health practitioner. I look after myself. This shouldn't happen to me, and then there's a fee, and there's a treatment, and there's the confusion between the messages from the body and the heart, and and the doctors and the family and the support or the lack of support to go beyond. And what happened is my journey of breast cancer had two surgeries and then radiotherapy, and I was really wounded by that experience. Even I still have my breast, and and I feel quite good there, but at the time I went into deep depression, and I just didn't function very well at all. So I was a mother, I had a 15-year-old son, and I just fully dived into depression, because I didn't know how to ask for help. And that was one of my big learning from there. I didn't know how to ask for help. And so after that, took me a few years. And when I finally, decided, one day I was walking around my neighborhood, and I just had like this thought, is that it? Is that what life is all about? I'm here, doing not much, and what's going to be? And it was this moment of really wanting to turn things around and wanting something to bring, into my life, something different. So by having this intention, I brought new people in my life, and I started to learn to be alive again. But my big moment was I met my mentor in 2019. I went to a retreat with her, and I was at the retreat in Greece, and every morning, early before everyone else, I would go and have a swim nude in that beautiful pool with a view of Mykonos. And I would feel alive. I would just go into the pool and feel my body being alive. And I'm like, I'm alive, And then this one day, we do yoga afterward. And we had this one day where we're connecting to the heart. And I just felt my heart was so dark. It was hard, it was dark. It was really like the lack of connection, but there was this hardness there. I was in shock in a way, I'm like, is it really what's happening to me? And I was just starting to look at myself in different ways. So that was my big moment of wanting to heal my heart and wanting to heal my breast, because what I realized, I was in an unhappy relationship with my husband, and my breast didn't get much attention at all. And so as you know, the breasts, they're the outer expression of the heart, and the nurturing, they're the nourishing part of our body, they're the giving part. But they need to receive to be able to give. And there's this very fine balance between, giving and receiving, and learning to give and learning to receive. And when we can't receive, to learn that we are responsible to receive for ourselves. Nobody else is responsible. I thought my husband was responsible, but really, what a mistake, And so I started to really connect to my breast, to my heart, and give a bit of massage, and really wake up. And really then, I could understand how it felt to really just connect to the heart. And so since then, there's so much been happening, and so much awakening to learning how to get out of the mind and dropping into the heart. Learn that there is so much in the mind, the mind can be a beautiful thing, but it can be like a roller coaster or taking us somewhere we don't want to be. And with that, there was a lot about the culture and our upbringing, what is in our mind, who has put things in our mind. And for me, I've been brought up as a Catholic, so there was a lot about, you don't touch yourself, that's just bad, sexuality is quite bad altogether. And I could feel the weight of all that culture and this programming, that I had, and how many people around me, are, I have quite a few clients, male and female, that are crippled with guilt, from this energy of being with the guilt. Like you're born with guilt, you're born guilty, and you live with guilt, you know. I'm not sure if you're aware, but this week we have a Friday the 13th that's coming, and it's one of the most auspicious day. It's the day of the feminine, and it's the day of Venus. It's the day of the goddess. And you know, the patriarchal community have made this day a really bad day because it's so powerful that it, you know, they've just been bringing the shadow to it, and it's to stop women to bring the power up. So whatever is happening for you on Friday, make sure you celebrate the feminine on Friday, because a new enter, you know, new project, new life, start more on that day. It's very, very auspicious. So yeah, so the feminine, you know, the wounded, and the feminine has been wounded for generation and generation, and we are all born with that. And so by connecting to our body again, by connecting to our breast, by connecting to our sexuality, our feminine, within our body, we awaken that part of ourselves who has been put asleep for many, many years. And so it's to get out of the head and learn to move to the body and really feel. And the other part is about intuition, you know, and working with our feminine intuition and learning to feel again, learning to really feel, because same, the programming is, we always want to feel good. You know, we always want to feel good, and we can't cry, and we want to be the good girl. We all want to be a good girl, and to be loved, we just have to be a good girl. So we can't be wild, and we can't really cry, and you know, we can't be too sexual, and all these things. And so suddenly to really be feeling it all and be all of it is what I teach to bring back into your life, you know, the wild and the wise, and the sexual and the feminine. And so the gift of the feminine are really beautiful qualities and virtues, you know, of compassion, of generosity, of healing and wisdom, you know, and really kindness, loving kindness, you know, the mother, the nurturing mother. These are all the qualities. So when we come into a difficult situation, you know, we hide and we're scared, and fear comes in. You know, when I was in a system after the breast cancer, there was a lot of fear, was just cultivated, you know, to measure how much risk do I have now for it to come back, when it's going to come back, you know, and all this fear is cultivated. So to learn to get out of there and to not let it cripple you, you know, because I remember that was just, I was so scared. I was just living with so much fear, you know, so learning to get out of the fear, to look at the good side, you know, like the Friday 13th, many people believe that it's really bad. Well, can you understand that it's a belief that's been put in your head by someone, but in fact, it's Friday 13th, it's a very auspicious day. And so, you know, there are beliefs like that, you know, not touching your body is bad, you know, by the Catholic Church. It's like, no, touching his body is quite good, you know. Who better than you is to touch your own body? Really, you know. So, so they believe, you know, that we need to transmute and change and move over. And so we can create a real relationship with our body. So I will do a little practice at the end of our call, and I'm really looking forward to help you connect to your heart and your breast. And so if you've had breast cancer and you have mastectomy, there's no breast, or you have implants, and what I really want to bring to your awareness is this energetic around the heart. So, and around the breast, even if the breasts are not there anymore, the energetics of the love, the nurturing, the feminine are still there. And the most important is to keep it alive, to connect with it, So we have a physical body, which is the body we work with. You know, there is a mental body, but there is an aura of the mental body. And then there is an emotional body. And so that's the other one, you know, we don't really know how to deal with that one, you know, because we like when it's good, but we don't like when it's not so good. And so we have all these different body, and then we have the energetic body. So our energetic body, you know, to really work with that body, because that what connect us to the cosmos, to the rest of the world. That's what connect us to each other. You know, we are all connected. We are all one. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but it is true. We are all one. We are all connected, and we are connected through our heart space. That's what we're connected to, you know, to nature. You go into nature and we are like, you know, sometimes nature is so beautiful. We just stay. And then what we see in nature is within ourselves as well. You know, what is nature? We are all one, we are all there. So the other thing I really want to bring up today is about emotions and how to deal with emotions. You know, I was an angry child. I was a very angry child. And so, you know, that's not seen very well. And I grew up an angry woman. And then I was an angry wife. And I had no idea how to deal with my emotion and how to feel, really. You know, I had a lot of anxiety and I felt very unsafe. And I had a history of abuse when I was younger. You know, there was a lot of things, a lot of anxiety, a lot of trauma, lots of stress. And so anger was basically my mechanism to compensate, you know, to survive. That was my survival mechanism, really, you know. And so that doesn't go very well in the world, you know. It doesn't make you a popular person. You can be kind after, but really it's very difficult. And so that's been a really, you know, that's been one of the biggest hurdles of my whole life, because basically, you know, people got scared of me, you know, like my own family. And I just didn't know how to do that. So we don't have this education how to deal with our emotions and to know about emotions and feelings, which are different. You know, feelings is a feeling that comes through, move, and we feel a feeling, which is good or bad, whatever. We just feel it. And then an emotion is an energy in motion. So the energy. And so the energy can be stuck in the body, you know, through the breath, through all the trauma we go through when we have breast cancer. Energy, any other kind of trauma of abuse, you know, repression of the woman, suppression, and, you know, not being able to speak your truth, not being able to say what you really want to say, being on this path of wanting to be the good girl, that it's the only way we're going to get loved, you know, really. So the emotion, you know, it's like really wanting to go quiet and really feeling the body. And so things are stuck, and then there's all different way of moving them. And that's what I do as well, you know, to educate women to learn how to deal with their emotions and the energetics around the emotion as well. And how, when there's all these emotion coming through, you know, if you get stuck, then your energetics, like, is the vibration is the same as the bad emotion, you know. So moving things to bring pleasure back in life is so important. And as a therapist, I must say that we are trained to take people in a bad place. What happened to you? How bad was it? How did you feel? La, la, la. And then, you know, to not really bring the good side and the pleasure. And that's what I'm really passionate about, you know, how to teach women to bring back pleasure in their life every day. Because at the end of the day, what is really important is what we do every day to ourselves, with others, and how we treat ourselves.
And how we feel and show up and embrace them is something which can make or break our life in so many ways. So it's a really critical component of our makeup that has, you know, societally been sort of pushed aside. And now having the opportunity to learn to embrace all the different parts of yourself, whether it is anger, whether it's shame, whether it's fear, whatever it is that is that nemesis that's holding you there, can really transform how you feel about yourself, how you show up in the world. And your examples that you gave, Annabelle, are really beautiful and very real life, which I really appreciate your vulnerability and trust in sharing those things, because it's not always easy to say. Like
Yeah.
I was angry for a long time, and people knew me as an angry person, and even though that might be, your reality, or I mean, certainly I've had my fair share of times like that too. So um, I'm really curious to know how other people are integrating that, and what kind of, if you've had a theme over your life that you weren't able to integrate at the time, but then as you were able to embrace your feminine, like Annabelle was talking about, that you were able to get more of a sense of a deeper part of yourself. And I'd love to just open it up to the floor to see, um, you know, put your voice into the circle, and so that we can learn more about you and you can share your experience with other people.